Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching 13 Reasons Why. This is episode 11 of season 1. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the series so far. And this is my third episode of the day. Obviously I'm enjoying it. Hopefully you guys are too. Episode 9 was crazy. We had a Jessica rape. Episode 10 we had a Jeff death. And now episode 11 we're getting Clay's story. So it is getting mad, mate, here. And it's getting interesting. It looks like, obviously, I keep saying it, but Justin and Jessica, their storyline is interesting between them because obviously Justin knows exactly what Bryce done to Jess. Jess is obviously reluctant to kind of acknowledge anything happened. Obviously, like as a person, she probably feels that she would feel even worse if she knew that these rumours were possibly true. So she's trying to, like, obviously just push them away or just ignore them, that it was a potential thing in the first place. But by doing that, she's actually getting really close to Bryce, which is interesting. So obviously, whilst he's going through this situation with Justin, he's kind of like stepping away and he's saying, what's going on with you? You know, she's drinking, he keeps questioning it. She tries to kiss him and sleep with him in certain situations and he pulls away. She's kind of going to Bryce, speaking to him. They're spending a lot of time together. She asked him has he got some weed. He went back to her house. When she was there, she took a gun out of the safe. I thought she was going to pull it on him and obviously start questioning stuff, obviously, about the tapes and that. But no, she took the cartridges out, took the bullet out, and then she was just like holding his hand as he was lifting it up. And it's like, wow, you know what I mean? They're getting a little bit closer, a little bit touchier. Last episode as well, you know, like I said, it was Sherry, it was her episode. She crashed into a stop sign, which knocked it down. Hannah wanted her to obviously call the police to tell them that she'd knocked it down. She didn't want to. She just wanted to get home. So she fled. She went home. Hannah went to the store. She told them, obviously, can she borrow a phone? And she rang and said, obviously, there's been an accident in this certain location, which they said that it's already been called in by somebody else, which he thought was Sherry. Turns out it was Clay. He'd arrived at a crash site from Jeff and this old guy. Obviously, we don't know if the stop sign played any factor whatsoever in the crash itself, but Sherry obviously is devastated by it, and she's gone to the old man's house and she's like helping them out now. So she's kind of like a little carer. She goes there all the time, helps them out, do stuff for them as kind of like an apology to kind of make herself feel better in case she did play some sort of action in you know, in the cause of the crash. But also Clay flipped it and said, yeah, it's cool that you're doing that, but what about Jess' family? They think he was drink driving. They think that he caused a crash that actually killed somebody. What about them? She said, yeah, I will tell them, but right now I can't. So he just went and done it. He turned up. He was like, look, mate, you know, I'm Jeff's friend. It was this and that. I was the first person that arrived on the scene. There was a sign. It was knocked down. He wasn't drinking. You know, all this time you might have thought that he was drink driving, causing the crash, and that was obviously what he's led to his death. But that is not the case. He was actually sober. He's getting beer for the party, for his friends. And it was just a standard accident. It was nothing that Jeff could have done. So it was nice from Clay to actually say that. And then we also had, obviously, Hannah's parents. He was offered 200k from the school to do a settlement. And then, obviously, she countered that. They didn't really accept it, or we didn't see it. But we've seen her confrontate Clay's mum in the toilets. And she was saying, look, mate, you know, Clay knew Hannah. What price would you put on Clay's head? If your son died, how much is he worth to you? And she turned around, even though she's obviously fighting against her, and said, look, mate, the only price I would put on Clay's head is the truth. And that's good, mate. That was good. It was kind of saying, don't accept it, go for it, fight to the end. Let's get it out. Because if it does get out there, she's going to get way more than 200k. And then Clay ended up discussing with Tony at the end of the episode, you know, like, before he goes on, because he knows it's going to be him in today's video. Like, is it his fault that Hannah has died? And, you know, with all the information that Tony's kind of heard. And Tony said, if you really want to know, probably, I would say you are probably the reason she did kill herself. So, mad to me. I'm suspecting in today's episode at the party there was a chance that they was going to kiss or have sex again, because they get close all the time and nothing happens. Both of them are too scared to go for it, and then all the craziness appears after that. So that is where I'm currently at. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you do, please smash the like, really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into episode 11 of season 1 of 13 Reasons Why.
I've told you about two of the worst decisions I ever made, and the damage left behind, and the people who got hurt. And this one's all on me, but it was the same night. That same awful night, and it's all about you. Clay.
Then how the hell am I supposed to listen to this?
The headphones on, set tape in, and you press play.
I need you to drive.
Where do you want to go?
Just anywhere.
Clay, I know you're asking yourself why you're on these tapes.
Good luck with your fresh start.
Good luck to you, party animal. I'm digging this role reversal, by the way. Part of me was saying, Ask me again.
Happy homeworking.
Part of me was saying, don't go. I always cared what other people thought of me, as much as I acted like I didn't.
Call me if you need a ride. And don't do any hard drugs. Or any drugs.
Clay.
I heard it started at 7.
Yeah, and A, it's 6:55, and B, 7 really means 9. You can do snacks.
How's he waiting until people are there to start dishing them out?
I bet you wish you hadn't invited me.
Oh, he kept staring at the haircuts.
You coming? What? Who do you mean? Hey, man.
Cool, Hannah came. Now we can annoy Jessica together.
I have to leave. Talking to someone else. She's busy.
Then that's your cue, man. That's your cue to cut in. Take a swing. Now, okay? Now, or I'm gonna kick your ass.
You would never kick my ass.
Don't tempt me.
I talked to you a million times before, but tonight was different, and I didn't know what to say to you. But when you finally came up to me, you knew just how to break the ice.
You're there on the couch.
So I am.
You want a drink?
I believe you promised me a drink, in fact.
I was so nervous that night, but you made it seem so...
Easy? I was shitting myself.
You could tell he's shitting himself.
Hey, Mom.
Hi, Clay. It's Mom.
Yeah, I just said that.
So you did, yeah. You and your dad are on your own for dinner tonight. Something came up here. There's leftover chicken in the fridge, and there's roast beef for sandwiches. Listen, the bakers considered our offer to settle.
And they've turned it down.
Based off of, what do they have?
Hell if I know. We found a smoking gun? Well, you knew this was coming.
I suppose, I hope that, it won't get this far.
Makes you think that this guy... Do you know what I mean, right? From obviously watching it, this guy's always seemed concerned. He's always there, with doors open, he's always speaking to them left, right, centre and all that. But I don't know, man. I feel like I get the vibes that he knows more than he's letting on. Do you know what I mean? That's what I know. Like, because... he just looks concerned, and he does find himself in certain situations. And he was the one that Marcus went to with, like saying that Clay had the drugs and stuff like that. And I just feel, do you know what I mean? Like even the publication, even though he did tell him that he can't post like anonymous magazines anymore, like submissions. I just feel like he might know something, man. This teacher, this counsellor might know more than he's letting on. But again, it's interesting about the party. He's saying that. She's not telling the right story. Well, I mean, she said that she was crapping it. Like, from what I heard there, she said she was crapping it. And, like, it was him that managed to come and break the ice. And it made her feel good. And he said, nah, that's not how it went. I was crapping myself. But that was just her point of view. Do you know what I mean? Like, she might have been crapping it more than you, Clay. Do you know what I mean? So she was nervous and she was, like, cowering at the side. And then you've come over, even though you're feeling awkward. But you might have been... feeling less awkward. So then when you cracked a joke, it brought her back into natural neutral zone because, she calls you helmet. She's used to your awkwardness and quirkiness, and it just, instead of it feeling like weird, it felt normal again. So like, even though you was crapping it, do you know what I mean? But like he said, there's two sides to every story. I say it every single time. When somebody says something, don't always believe it until you find out what the other person has to say.
So, are there any dinner plans happening, or...
Good idea. Give me a beer.
The fuck? Get your fucking dirty ass feet off my notebook, man. Don't you ever fucking touch me. Get the fuck out of my house.
It's not your house.
And you think it's yours?
You pay rent?
Do you?
Jesus, you're like two little boys.
Gonna ring Bryce, and she's gonna be over there with Jessica.
Listen, I can't stay at my house tonight. Call me back, okay?
What are we gonna do next?
You tell me.
How's the hot tub at your place?
Hot. The beer is cold.
See, he's an absolute dickhead, isn't he? Like, he knows what he's doing. It's his mate's girlfriend as well. And first of all, he's raped her before, so, I mean, the guy's just...
Freeze time whenever you want for as long as you want. But once you unfreeze everyone else, you're frozen for 3 times as long. No, I made it up. For when you're in those, like, real-life situations where you wish you had a superpower to get you out of.
If you had a superpower, what would you want to use it for? And if you could use a superpower right now, what would you want it to do?
Vanish everyone else out.
Make everyone else disappear.
Good answer,
And then what would
mate.
we do?
We would...
Timing's awful for these, man. It's well bad.
So the only time you and I actually ever get to hang out is because of Jeff?
No, I mean, maybe. But it's strictly coincidental.
You tutor him in academics and he tutors you in...
Girls. Girl. Singular.
Are gonna come over and you're gonna play beer pong.
Big into sports with
Go on, Hannah's
balls.
gonna go.
All sports have balls.
Balls.
Do you know what
Yeah.
Go on, Clay. He's doing the right shit so far. I'm excited. Right, before he goes upstairs, ooh, yeah. Because so far it's going so good for Clay, but I know something's going to happen. But I'm trying to think of a sport that's not got a ball in. Now, I'm going to say darts, because darts don't have a ball, so I got it right instantly. But outside of darts, I can't think. You've got golf ball, American football, or whatever Americans call it, soccer ball, basketball, netball. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I've said netball. Like, baseball, it's got a ball. What other sport? I'm not classing, like, the Olympics as a sport. Because clearly, all them, like, are sports, but they're not on my TV every weekend. Do you know what I mean? All them that I've just named, I could turn the telly on. Tennis, you know what I mean? You got a tennis ball, rugby, that's still a rugby ball. Like, I could put it on, boom, watch that sport week in, week out. The Olympics, not so much. It's on, do you know what I mean? Like, world athletics and all that, swimming. It's different. But all the major sports do all contain a ball, which is really interesting. Never thought of it before.
You know, the thing is, I think I'm gonna have to quit working at the Crestmont. My parents need me to work at the store. Kind of sucks because I really like working at the Crestmont. What I mean is, I like working with you.
Yes, Hannah, at least you moved closer.
I mean,
What are you doing, Clay?
work at your parents' store, at least you won't have to smell like burned popcorn. Stop, I gotta stop.
You want me to stop the clock?
No, yes, no. I just... what Justin, Zach, Alex, they all heard this. Of course. He's just going through some stuff.
Yeah, gotta answer that, man. Fucking hell, everyone's ignoring him. You know, imagine he's gone to his house because he can't get on anyone else.
Look, I'm sorry to, is it alright if I crash here tonight?
Okay, why don't you just stay at Bryce's?
I think you know why.
It's Justin. Is it okay if he spends the night? We have some homework we have to do.
Sure, how you doing, Justin?
Well, come on in. We got leftovers, we got steak, we got all
Ain't
the
it, mate? That
fixings.
steak looked well good, actually, that he's packing up.
It might be nothing, but last year, at the end of the year, we had an anonymous note. Suicide specifically, but it was someone who was despondent. Now I'm wondering if it was written by Hannah.
Or if you hear anything else from the other kids, unless someone asks, it might be best, not to be sharing this.
Look at him, he's like a rabid dog, mate. The guy's not out in months.
Man, you could choke, so
No one's snatching it.
don't choke.
Jess, what took you so long?
Seriously, Justin? Now you're all concerned about what I'm doing? Get his ass over here.
Who else is there? Is anyone else there with you?
Who are you, my dad?
Oh, what would you do if you was Justin,
What's
man?
going on?
We need to go to Bryce's. Can you drive?
My mother used to say, primero comemos, entonces lo demás. That means first we eat, then we do everything else.
She's big on breakfast.
Breakfast is the most, mate. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I could eat breakfast, dodge lunch, have my tea. Do you know what I mean? Like, the middle meal around noon, that could be dodged, mate, when you have a big, juicy, fat, nice breakfast. Whatever it is, pancakes, waffles, bacon, eggs, you name it, full English. Get a good fat breakfast in you, you're set for the day. And it is true, actually. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it's funny, like, you feel like you're going to be sick. You feel like you're going to throw up your food. But actually, sometimes you feel sick because you've not ate any food. You know what I mean? And, like, sometimes, like he's saying, let's get it down us. It'll settle you down, calm you down.
Get some water or something.
Oh my god. Sit. I'll get it.
Yeah, he's just working through some shit.
He's got existential crisis written on his forehead.
I do not.
I got my cards here if you want me to do a reading.
Yes, do one.
Maybe there's even a message from beyond. You're isolated. Alone.
Big deal. Everybody's alone.
Very un-Clay Jensen thing to say.
Yeah.
I don't get how it is you're the one who's mad at me. You stopped talking to me freshman year.
Really? First day of school, you didn't see me down the hallway and then turn the other way?
Changed.
Yeah, well, so did you. You used to be cool. What she did was stupid.
You don't know anything about it.
I know she didn't go through anything different than any of us.
Then what's that?
She got through it.
What you do instead of killing yourself.
What a bitch.
Well, she is.
Is he teething?
I don't know, but I've got drool all the way down my back.
The pressure is on me at school right now.
You need to find a balance. You had no idea that girl was suffering. You can't blame yourself for what she did.
Now I'll let you out. I'll be right here if you need me.
She has a rock collection from when she was little. And she used to water them and treat them as pets.
Oh, I'm killing her pets? Oh, what's that one's name?
His name is Stone. Your name is Clay.
Yes.
Ah, Claystone.
It is. And I put all
Is
the
it?
jokes.
Really? Like all the jokes in the universe ever?
All of them.
Fucking hell, Clay, mate. He's a shit reader, isn't he? Yes, Clay. There we go. Just slagging you off then.
And for the first time in a long time, I could imagine a future where I was happy. And I know you felt it too.
What's interrupting them?
Okay.
No, but okay. I wanted you to do everything you were doing, so I don't know why my mind took me everywhere else. And I thought of every other guy, and they all became you.
Stop it!
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, just stop, okay?
Hannah, I'm so sorry.
Just leave me alone.
Like, how
Part
do
of
you
me was
actually read
saying-
that? Yeah.
Get the fuck out!
Fucking hell, mate. So that all that craziness happened right after the what just happened then?
Helmet, your name does not belong on this list, because you aren't every other guy.
You're the
You're
guy.
different. It wasn't you. It was me.
Yo, mate, this is like, this is one of the only situations, mate. Usually when you you see breakups, it's not you, it's me, mate. Facts, absolute facts in capital letters, mate. F-A-C-T-S. It was all her. It wasn't Clay in that situation at all. I actually felt sorry for Clay in that situation there, because I understand where Hannah's emotions are coming from. I'm not saying it's not justified, totally is. She's experienced bad situations, and obviously when she's getting herself in this again, it's flashing back into her eyes. But it's the lash out and the mannerisms, that the way it's said towards Clay, it's as if he has been the one that's hurt her. And it's like, he's so confused, like, he cares about her, you can tell that like, proper loves her. He kind of asked, is this okay? She said yes, and then it was like, blah, 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 and lashing out, and it made him feel so bad that he left. She was like, you actually left because I told you to. But I get it, mate. I do get it. If I was him, I would have left as well, because it kind of reminds me of the Zach situation, where, like, the more he stayed, the worse she was getting, her temper, her emotions. Do you know what I mean? At first, she was like, stop with Clay just then. And then the more he said something, the louder, the sadder and emotional that she got. So, like, in my head, I was thinking, if I'm just staying here, I'll just make it even worse and worse and worse. At least if I get out now, the way she said, I'm respecting her decision. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I could be totally wrong in there. Other people could have that totally different opinion. They would say, yeah, I would have stayed. I would have known that she was in this position and she was feeling that. But it's crazy. At least it turned out there that, Clay's not done anything bad in this episode. That's what he's absolutely paranoid about, wasn't he? Proper paranoid.
God damn it! I was scared. I thought it was something I had done or something I didn't understand because I'm this fucking loser. I knew I shouldn't have left. And then Bryce raped Jessica and Hannah saw, and then Sherry knocked down the stop sign, and then Jeff died, and it all started with me.
You think you could have said something that would have changed any of this?
I could have said, I'm not going.
She said, get the hell out of here.
Oh, here we go. We're getting more of it than what we just seen.
It's okay.
I don't want you here. Get out. You don't want to be with me, Clay.
But I do.
Of course
I
it does.
really do.
You know what people will say?
No, and I don't care.
Because it's easy for you, right?
I was angry for a minute because I was jealous of Justin. I love you.
He does so. I actually firmly, fully believe it.
I'm not going. Not ever.
Oh, I like this scene.
Why didn't you say this to me when I was alive?
Fuck off, mate. That's deep. Oh, right. That was good, that, mate. It caught me.
I couldn't tell her. I killed Hannah Baker.
I have to say, though, the last 3 episodes or something from Clay, he's done some decent acting. He has actually done some good acting.
Dusty! Alex, it's about fucking time, you guys. Actually, Jess and I had this thing planned.
No, we don't.
We were gonna get late dinner. I hate poker.
No, you have to play. Everybody's playing. Come on. Here.
Innit?
Jess,
What's
what the
going on?
fuck?
Innit?
I don't want to fucking play cards right now.
I said your deal.
I said, let's go. Come on.
Fuck, Justin!
What are you doing here with him?
We're just having fun.
Why the fuck are you here with Bryce?
Why do you care?
Let's go.
Tell me why you fucking care!
Because he fucking raped you! You son of a bitch! I'll fucking kill you! Let me fucking know!
It's just like pretending that she didn't have any idea.
I hate you!
What did you just do?
What did he do, though? Fucking rape someone, like, he can't act like it didn't happen. Well, I mean, he is doing, like... Right, I've got to say... I absolutely hated Justin at the start. Obviously, he sent that. Well, to be honest, yeah, Justin didn't send the picture, Bryce did. The first ever one of Hannah. Now, I did call Justin out and say that he kind of let it happen, and then when it did happen, he didn't play it down, he didn't say it wasn't true. The guy actually, I think he went along with it, saying that, you know, it did technically happen, and he was being a bit of a dick towards Hannah, and that's why I started to dislike him in that aspect. But, like, I've gone more from dislike to more interested in his story. Does that make sense? Because he's kind of had one slowly built. Now, Bryce, yeah, he's had this rape thing thrown in there, but he hasn't really had no story. Have we even had a Bryce tape? Oh, we have. Yeah, we did. No, like the tape that Bryce raped Jess, it was Justin's second tape. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I don't really know anything about Bryce apart from the crappy actions that we've seen in grabbing Hannah, in doing that to Jess. But, like, at least Justin's had, like, a slow background build-up, like, a crappy family life, boyfriend, you know, his mum's boyfriend's terrible, you know, not being, you know, he obviously loves Jessica there, but in terms of the situation with Bryce as well, it's his friend, and he knows what happened at the party, and he can't handle what's going on, and then, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I've had a slow build-up with his story, so it's not like I like him. I'm more like, I'm invested, and I kind of like the storyline that we're going. He's kind of got his own side one. Like, he's kind of got one going on the same as Clay does. Like, and I'm all into it. I think it's, like, really deep as well, the same as the Hannah one. But, like, I don't understand why Jesse's so mad at him. Maybe because he knew, for example, for so long and never said it to her. But I always said that she must have had some sort of inclination, knowing she'd listened to the tapes, unless she never put two and two together that it was Bryce that I was talking about. I don't understand what's happening. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, the whole time she's kind of poking him. You know what I mean? So, do you not think that the last 4 episodes or something, Jess has just been poking the fire with Justin? Every situation that she's in, yeah, she's antagonising. It's like, mate, she's poking him with a stick constantly, waiting for him to explode, and now he just has here. Like, she had no need to sit on Bryce's lap then. It was literally totally out of, like, context and situation, like, what's happening there? And then, obviously, he's ended up spitting it out. She forced him to say it as well. He didn't want to say it in front of everyone, and he just said it. So, again, I'm not saying I'm a massive fan of Justin. I'm just saying, like, their storyline going on, again, to me, is really interesting.
You are the most beautiful woman in this family.
Oh, here we go. What's in here? Oh, tapes. Oh, letter. Names. Oh. Mr. Porter, look. What episode are we on? 11. So we've got 12, 13 left. He might help his mum now, because he knows that he wasn't one of the people that caused the death.
Honey, you asked earlier about Hannah's case, but I couldn't talk. His lawyer will be issuing deposition subpoenas right away. Got a copy of his list tonight. A number of your classmates are on it. So are you.
That mean that they got to go to court? They can't lie, can they?
So I'll have to testify.
Yeah, there we go.
It's really just an interview. And the more we know before the depot, the easier it will be.
I promise I'll tell you everything. Not yet.
Innit? The guy's got some balls, hasn't he, man? Yeah. Bryce, man. You know, he's crazy, isn't he? I mean, he kind of reacted well in terms of the allegation that was just put against him. You know, like, how can you say it? In certain situations, if somebody acts too rash or too emotionally, you kind of think, that's true. Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes it can give away, you can give away too much in a reaction, but guy was calm. Yeah, okay, he was getting pulled back a little bit, like, but was that because Justin moved on him a little bit? So everyone's like, whoa, you know, like, pulled him away. And he was so calm, he just said to Justin, like, yo, what have you just done? And, like, walked off, like, but everybody must. I don't get it. Everybody must know. Everybody must have put 2 and 2 together. Do you know what I mean? Or maybe it was just us that put 2 and 2 together because we physically seen it, where Hannah never actually mentioned anybody's name on the tape. So everybody might have just listened to it and been thinking, "Yo, who was that? Do you know, who could it have been?" And then maybe they thought it was Bryce, maybe not. Who knows? You know, like they got a suspicion, but a suspicion. It's not a fact. It's not true, is it? Like, I could suspect anything. I could suspect you for doing something, I have no concrete evidence. But then when somebody comes out and says, I know it was you, Bryce, then it confirms everybody else who's been thinking it. That I think, shit. Do you know what I mean? So, like, that was a big, bold statement to say. And to be honest, like I said, she's been poking him. She's poking the fire for the past few episodes. She's waiting for him to explode. Now, then when he did explode, she slapped him again, which I do find interesting. I don't know what she wanted to get out of Justin. She hasn't been treating Justin well, to be fair, let's be honest. Like, but it doesn't mean that Justin's been treating her great, but I think she's been treating him worse than he has with her. This Clay storyline's interesting anyway, because I can see where I can get where he comes from, like the bit that he never said when she was alive, that when she said, why didn't you tell me this when I was alive? That's what he should have said. Like, but again, I'm not saying that, again, that's what, how can you say? He left, and I would have left as well, because I would have respected her decision. I was saying before, like, the more and more he tried to talk, the worse and worse and more emotional and sad that she was getting. So she asked him to leave, so he respected it, and he left. Now, obviously, we know all these crazy actions that happened after it. So now, in hindsight, he can look back and say, I should have stayed, and I should have said this. And what he said, when I said last episode, seeing is believing. Once you see a situation play out, and you think, you know what, I'll tell you what, that probably was the best play. That's what he should have done. But I have to admit, just like with the knockdown of the sign last episode, Sherry went and knocked it down. She didn't call the police. She didn't want to. She wasn't going to say anything. She got in the car and drove off. I said I would have done that as well. I'm not going to go back on that. Something that I would have done. If I go outside now and crash my car into a post and it knocked down a stop sign, I'd just get off. I wouldn't tell the police. And again, here, I find the Clay situation, and I was like kissing a girl and that, and then she got up and she was all emotional, and I tried to talk to her, and she's getting more and more emotional and tell me to leave. I would have respected her wishes and I would have left. Now, obviously, anything that's rippled effect after that, like I said, the car crash and obviously the rape, that's just unlucky. It is, isn't it? It's unlucky. I could have looked back and said, shit, I should have done something different. But then you can't blame Clay for doing those actions, because it's what a lot of people would have done. So that is going to wrap up episode 11 of season 1 of 13 Reasons Why. So it's interesting because I thought that today's episode was going to be really bad on Clay. I thought it was, mate. I'm not going to lie. Just the way the last 2 episodes have panned out, I thought that it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And it turns out it was a good story for Clay. There was actions, obviously, that didn't go the way he wanted it to go at the party, but shed him in a good light. He showed him that he respected women's decisions, showed that he didn't push it too far, and he did ask for consent as well when he went in for the kiss, and obviously he's fooling around on the bed. And obviously, from Hannah's perspective, she's been through some bad situations and experiences, and obviously she's lashed out and said a few things here and there, but she didn't say nothing too bad either. You know what I mean? Like, you've got to understand the situation that you find yourself in, and the reason why people say certain things. So obviously he's respected it and left, and obviously the snowball, mate, the absolute snowball from that one decision of him leaving that room. Yeah, you could not have seen it. You could not really, it couldn't have made it up, mate. Literally, it's just like it's a TV program. It's crazy, the craziness that's happened after it. So, I mean, Clay, I liked his speech that he was saying what he should have said at the top of the hill with Tony. I actually really like Tony, to be honest. Guy's a pretty decent friend so far. Like I said, I've been saying all this stuff. He even said it about Jeff. Jeff's decent. That episode dead. I've said it about loads of people. Next thing something happens. But Tony has been pretty decent. Now, obviously, I like how Hannah's mum and dad have rejected the proposal, and they're going to take everybody to court, and they've subpoenaed them. That means that they go to court and stand trial. You cannot lie on the stand, mate. You got to testify. All the truth will be coming out left, right, and centre. It's going to be good, mate. It's going to be like a bloodbath for everybody. Your fault, your fault, your fault. You know what I mean? We're all going to go in on it. He said to his mum, look, I'll tell you everything. I'll tell you whatever it needs to know, but just not right now. I.e., let me finish these last 2 tapes, let me know the full story, and then I can get my BS ready. Nah, do you know what I mean? No, but I think it's really interesting as well, like this teacher, man. I feel like I said quite a few times that he might have some sort of like part in this that we don't know yet. Some sort of information, key bit of info that he knows that he's not exposed. Because he does speak to everybody, and obviously he will have lots of knowledge. Now, when our teachers come in and express that, obviously she did receive a letter by an anonymous student at the end of like last year, and she did read it out, and it kind of was talking about suicide, but she never actually like looked into it further. She never, thought to check out what student it was, but she did find out that it was probably Hannah by Clay. Now, this this teacher who obviously went home to his wife, I forgot his name. Mr. Porter, yeah. He's obviously found himself in a few situations now where Clay's name, Clay this, Clay that, Clay. Ask them, ask these, ask them. Do you know what I mean? He might be trying to put two and two together and thinking, But, like I said, mate, when this testifying comes, it's going to be really, really good. And I want Hannah's parents to win. Not going to lie. I actually really like her parents. To be honest, yeah. All the parents in this show have been alright. Well, Hannah's and Clay's. I like Clay's dad. Clay's mum, well, she's just doing a job, obviously. She's a lawyer. She has to do what it is. And I like, obviously, the Martins. They've gone for it. They're trying to do everything they can for a daughter. There's no price on the truth. So it's going to be exciting to see. And I can't wait for this testifying episode. It's going to be really good. Like I said, Justin, he's confronted Bryce in front of everybody. Said that he's raped Jessica in front of her. And she's obviously not happy. She slapped him. Stormed off. He's probably going to stay at Alex's because he's left his mum's house because the boyfriend's an arsehole. And then obviously you've got, like I said, Jessica now alone in a bed crying, having a text off Bryce saying, hey, you okay? Guy's got mad balls, mate. Honestly, after all of that, he's probably trying to play it off like it's total BS. Probably the best way for him to do that, to be honest, because we definitely know if Hannah's telling the truth anyway from what we've seen, that what he done was crazy. So that is going to wrap up today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you did, please smash a like. Really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.